I'll quickly try to analyze these alien ET objects in clouds. So at first it sounded ridiculous until Laszlo Novak, who's a very experienced UFO researcher, this was his article on YouTube. So he told me to watch that, and this was over his house. I'm very surprised why he caught it right over his house. Now, when you watch it, now he used his Sony camera infrared mode on this. Now, basically, for most people, look like a cloud. So I thought, okay, sure, show me, Laszlo. And guess what? This is the ultimate of any orb film I have ever seen. The whole object is like some sort of fourth dimensional ET mothership that is actually turned three-dimensional using cloud cover. One flash happened up on top. Things quickly go in and out of this. Rods fly out, orbs fly out. And this is where I saw these very strange cloud patterns, which led me to film on the 3rd of August a very dark full cloud cover. Not dark, there were patches in between. That's where because it was a heavy cover, I filmed the ET aliens inside, and the ET bug or cloud bug that jumps clouds. There it is. There's one orb there that just flew in. Just a look at the fantastic features on that, and that's how I've started to analyze all these other clouds that I see. There's one flew out there. That's how I start to analyze all these other clouds and look for ET clouds. It sounds bizarre, it sounds crazy. Until I started filming, and then I'm just thinking, whoa, what have I found? All these things that other people have filmed is now quickly, there it is, it actually flows in the entrance right there. One goes out. It quickly then adds up all these other things people are filming and say, look, this bug is jumping from cloud to cloud. That was by Golem on Facebook. I'll show you that video. The other person is Doug Robbins in Oregon. There's heavy chemtrail activity, UFO orbs, and he's filmed these bugs sort of quickly moving on the chemtrails. And I thought, these guys are losing their marbles, surely. Look at that structure in there. Just look at what Laszlo caught in there. It's fantastic. That's the entrance in there. And I caught the same patterns in the 2014 May volcano plumes in Indonesia, and you'll see a definite structures being produced there, and that's also on my YouTube. Okay, you've seen enough. I'll quickly jump a few more. There he is. One's more is flying in. So I'll quickly now jump to Golem's one. Now this is a very experienced filmer as well. I've seen quite a few things, and I've saw him first on Facebook. Now he's filmed quite a few good UFO orbs, and the actual one that I'm quickly trying to show you, he's got fantastic film as well. He's filming rod objects, everything. This is he calls it strange flying object or creature captured infrared. Now he catches the same thing. What he did, he just aimed this into the clouds. I think he had the camera running. He just kept film mode, so he just analyzed it after, and by accident this is what he caught. So it's very quick. You'll have to just sort of hold on to your seats as it happens. And this is what he calls the cloud insect. It'll be right there. See there how it quickly shoots? It shoots at fantastic speeds. Now he's really good at using special screen software and things like that, which I haven't. I just use screen capture software. I use a HTC phone cam. Now he'll actually film it. It's on the edge, and here's that cloud. It's a strange cloud. It's got those strange features that Laszlo pointed out right there. If I should zoom in on that, I could even probably bring up those features. It's like a huge nest. Now watch him. There he is. He's caught it right there. Look at that. Just look at that. That is ridiculous. So these are these things that Doug Robbins is filming. Now, he just posted his video on Facebook, and people said, Doug, look, you're crazy. That's just bugs on your windshield. You're a crazy man, Doug. Now, what Gollum's missed in this is the structures of the cloud itself. There it is again. So he's actually altered all this, which I haven't learned how to use yet. So he's tracked it now to 10%. There it is. I'll pause that. That object there is starting. See that very peculiar shapes in that cloud. That's what I'm trying to home in on. Now I'll quickly go to Doug's video now. Now this is my Facebook page. The reason I'm picking on Doug, his videos are excellent. When I analyze his film, he's got very bright UFO clouds or orbs coming over his house. One even followed him from work, and it was exactly the same cloud I analysed. It sounded ridiculous. I thought, Doug, I mean, you're going insane. Now there's that a beam that he filmed. Now I actually, these are free snaps, and that cloud seems to open up and objects come out of it. As crazy as it sounds, I captured all this step by step from his webcam film. So that's the reason why his film is now just like, wow. So he's got fantastic things there. These are these strange ET cloud objects or orbs that actually can use the clouds as cover. This was a great one in Brazil that I zoomed in on, and you see how the structures are curvy, and you've got these objects going everywhere. So that's the object there. You'll see the features, the rods, everything. There's one lady that took a great snapshot there in what's her name, Holly Kalina Pick in Canada. So I just enlarged her pictures. This is her picture there. She said she sees things obviously in there from Thompson, Canada. So when I zoomed in, there's the ET object and there's the opening, and somehow they mimic clouds. I can't explain how. That these are, again, fantastic type of images. And I was just talking today with Mindy from so this is Doug's video, obviously, when the object fires at him, and as skeptical as it sounds, the more I analyze his films, they're fantastic. So it's beautiful Oregon, and there's that very bright sort of orb cloud. Now when I zoom in, this will happen at about 54 seconds. He'll get the first whack of it, and that's when I zoomed in on the cloud when it was right above him, and he captures these things opening. It's as crazy. I know. Look right there. You'll see the objects right there in that cloud will come out, and a zap will happen about at 54 seconds on the dot. So just keep your eye on it. I'll tell you in about a few seconds. So these objects are mimic as clouds. It'll happen now. There it is. Look at that. Just look at that. I'll actually freeze it. I missed it. Hold it. See, again, these objects are mimicking as clouds. There's that thing that opened. This rod came out and he got zapped. The rod's going back in now. It's crazy. I know it's crazy. It's like, okay, I'll jump now. Now this is the cloud that, again, it sounded ridiculous. He said, obviously, this cloud's been following me around all day. Now at the start of there it is. I'll just take down the volume. If we go towards the end of it, just as this is 4.5 minutes long, I don't want to take you through the whole video. He's arrived home, and there's that same cloud there. There it is. Sounds crazy. So the only explanation is there's ET objects in the cloud, and also these cloud creatures. I'll quickly zoom into his cloud bug film. He's also caught a great capture on his cell phone of these. It looks like a starfish, stingray. There it is there. Now that's also been filmed by a Damien John Nod in Sydney, a very experienced UFO filmer. And you'll see the picture of it there. That is an alien entity, and that's been following him around as well. Now, if I hadn't seen that elsewhere, filmed by more professional, when I say more professional, I mean people that have been filming this for 10 years and have very high-tech cameras. There's that object there. It follows Doug around. Look at it. Okay. Now, the bizarre thing in the trees around there, I've zoomed in on these strange objects. They don't look like nests, so I'm not sure if that's some sort of ET colony on the tree. It looks very silver, very strange. This is that picture of that cloud orb at high zoom. So I actually zoomed in on it just before it's fired the rays. You can see the hatch opening, the ray guns come out. I know this sounds ridiculous. I'm honestly scratching my head thinking, how can I find all these things by just analysing his cell phone videos that he just quickly uploads, and there it is, it's all real. So there's that cloud again, there was one other cloud, and this is a very high zoom of that opening up, and I think it just starts to fold in again after it's shot the beams. This is, I mean, I'm literally just thinking, is this real world, real time? There it is there. And again, I think this is more possible because cell phones these days have higher grade cameras than 5 years ago. These are the orbs that he films as well, flying. So quickly, and these are the chemtrails that he films and all the objects in there. So he's a very good filmer, very experienced. I'll just quickly show you these pictures from a Mindy. So these are the chemtrails she filmed today, right? In the objects over Holland and Massachusetts, you'll see these wonderful shapes that are just shouldn't be there in the clouds. I'll obviously come to the obvious ones. So this is the original picture, obviously, the high zoom. So she's focused in on those objects right there. Now when I zoom in on them, you'll see the beautiful square structures there. Objects that are literally sitting on the clouds. They're very hard to see. I'll have to enlarge, obviously, the images. So obviously it shouldn't be in clouds, you know. So somehow these are huge ET, I don't know, spaceships, whatever you want to call them. I'll have to analyze it further, but they're just the quick sort of pictures. And again, I'm trying to sort of point out this is what's happening in the clouds. Again, this is one of these films from Doug, and obviously, if you see that top object right there, it just literally comes to life. It isn't on the windshield, it actually moves independently as though it's in one plane. There's a few objects on the left of it. I don't know how that can happen, it's just crazy. Okay, this is one other one from Doug, and when I saw it again, I was skeptical. I zoomed in, and he literally catches an ET craft uncloaking or cloaking, and it's a similar one to the Turkish one. So I just enlarge it, and there it is there. There you go. It's just cloaked on him. So I can't believe he caught that. But right at the start, so there's an object there that moves as well. So there he is. He just sort of catches it at the corner of his eye, and when you enlarge and zoom it, and there's some objects right up there in that hologram cloud. You see what I mean? There's an orb there. So it isn't though it's happening independently. There's that area up there I'm also looking at. There it is there. It's just cloaking on him. And you'll see it just cloak. I'll just pause it out. Strange thing is you actually see right in the center of it. This was a reflection, and I've actually spoken to him on Skype. He has no cans of drink or anything on top of his work car on the dashboard. He's a professional driver. So you'll see that opening right there. And that opening, you shouldn't be able to see if that's a reflection. So that's how crazy the things are that I'm seeing, you know. They just shouldn't be happening. So there it is. Boom, it's gone. Very similar to the ET craft in Turkey that cloaks and uncloaks. I'll quickly go through the zooms. His work just amazes me. He's just got such a good skill for having that camera ready, for aiming, and just there it is. See that opening inside? You won't be able to see that if that's just a normal drink can. And you'll see the next zoom where there's objects that appear. That was an orb right next to it as well that flies off on the left. So that's the picture there that he took. I just thought, yeah, sure, there's some sort of engine or something underneath. Look how that opens up. That's amazing. And there's the orb on the left of it. Sorry to keep going back on Facebook. It's just the quickest way as I analyze stuff. Now, this is that cloud plume 2014. It was only a few months ago. And when I've zoomed in on there, I see the same orb structures in the cloud. You'll see the rods there. You'll see the same a lattice of structures. It's very, see that beautiful shape there. So I've analyzed that as well. You've got the same curly features as the orbs, and you'll see those rods there on top as well. So it seems as though these things are mimic, or you can see them virtually in cloud patterns and plume patterns right there. But that's a whole separate thing that I've analyzed on my YouTube. Here are just some more zooms from these very weird cloud orb shapes, sorry, plume orb shapes in the volcano. So I'll quickly jump through them there. And one had a definite patterns. That's a beautiful open like honeycomb shape. It's fantastic. The things that I'm seeing in the cloud formations as well. Exactly the same sort of patterns. I can't explain. It's like a fourth dimensional alien entity that just sort of uses clouds, volcanoes. I'm not sure why they go in the volcanoes. There's that, looks like a gun shape there, or a rod. There are the round ones and the tubes coming out. There are those beautiful shapes. Look at that. You've got two structures coming out of there. As I said, I've actually analysed this. If you just go down the YouTube thing, you'll see the whole thing's analysed. I won't spend too much. Now, Doug has quickly provided me pictures that I've zoomed of these chemtrails as they're being created, and the objects, there's no plane. It's like a pinpoint start to these very thick trails. I've never seen such heavy activity. The whole sky is literally pumped non-stop. And again, that's where the heavy ET activity is. So if this is a government plan to actually prevent the ET presence, it's not helping much, is it? Here are these beautiful shapes that resemble the cloud patterns that I've seen taught to me by Laszlo, these ET objects in the clouds, or entities, or life forms. I don't know what they are anymore. And look at that. It's the round shape, and you'll see all the beautiful tubes coming out. Look at that. That is a fantastic. Again, I won't go more into this. And again, this is one object in Oregon, USA. So, yeah. Finally, I found it. So I'll quickly share it on my page as well. Finally, I found this video. So without this video, the whole story does not add up. So this is shared. And I'll just go to my page now. Okay, so quite a few people have watched this and said, Doug, just clean your windshield. They're obviously just bugs on your windshield. Stop making these stupid stories up. Now, Doug, I said, is a very experienced filmer. He would know what's on the windshield and what's up in the air. And here are these objects that were filmed also in that first part of the series by infrared. They travel very quickly. They seem to use the chemtrails of the clouds as some sort of watch. Watch how quick they will now jump and travel. And that's how quick it was actually filmed by a Golem, I think 832 that I showed you from YouTube. He's filmed the same thing. They literally run across that at high speed. Now, that's his handshake. See how quickly they run through the sky? It's ridiculous. Now, I'll quickly try to reach that where they start to run. It just seems as though there are bugs. I know that. It's just, I thought the same thing. I looked at it 3, 4. I'm thinking, no way in hell. This doesn't add up. Don't think about it anymore. And you'll see them now, same as the infrared analysis, how quick they just go through the sky. Now, he's got some handshake there, but that's fine. There it is. Look how quick that thing is moving.